So what you have here is exactly what you have. So do you like the books I printed for everybody? Yeah. So I purposely made them in booklet form. I purposely made them a little bit fancy because I want you to use this. This is a working document. So, go through, write it up, mark it up. This is your document. There's no one way or right way or wrong way. But what I want to do for the next little while, so we got about 45 minutes or so that I'd love to run you through a business plan. And we're going to talk about some of the things that I've already talked about, but we're going to talk just a little bit more in detail as to how to do it. So like I said up front, this is just one of 100 business plans that you can find online. So if this catches your eye, use it. If it doesn't, Jared James has one, Brian Buffini has one, Mike Farrad's got one. Every coach that you could possibly imagine has a business plan. Lynn Hamilton has another business plan that she uses. I don't care which one you use, but you've got to use one. Because what I would tell you is that if you don't have a business plan, you don't have a business. It's the same way right now is that if you don't have a database, you don't have a business. This is not a database. Okay? By the way, do you guys know that this makes phone calls too? It's really easy. There's a phone portion. You can dial people's numbers and it rings. So, we need to start using that more. The other thing too, when the phone rings, answer it. I don't care if it says bad number, spam, telemarketer trying to sell you a warranty. I know we all get the health insurance ones, right? How many times do you get those a day? Answer the phone. Okay. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to run you through. So this is going to look a little bit different, but there is some interaction, but I want to show you how the interaction works. So within each one of these is what you see in your different pages there. It talks about your mission and your values and your 1 and 3 and 5 year plan. Look, the more information you put in there, the better. Once again, plug in what your thoughts are. Go ahead and throw it into Perplexity, ChatGPT. If you are in coaching, Tom's got his own, AI. That's all real estate. There's a ton of stuff out there. Don't copy it, but also it's like if you need some inspiration, look at your neighbor. What are they writing down? Maybe they've got something that you can think about. So, it's like what is all of this? What are your motivations? So, I challenge you to go through and actually look at each one of those. Your why, your accountability, your commitment. So we have, 50 people or whatever in the room. There's going to be a lot more watching online. So the way I see it here is that each one of you guys can be an accountability partner. So, when this meeting's done, why don't you look at somebody or go introduce yourself to somebody that we don't know? There's people in the room that I recognize, but why don't I walk up to Sharon and hey, Sharon, how about every morning at 8, we call each other before we make our calls or we start our day, and we just say what we're accountable for, and set these up as business calls. So don't I'm picking on Sharon now, but don't call Sharon and hey, Sharon, how was your weekend? How was the game? Did you guys go shopping? Oh, I love that blouse, whatever. Whatever it might be. Did you get your hair cut? No. It's go right into it. Hey, Sharon, it's Dave. Hey, today I'm committed to making, having 12 conversations and signing a buyer agreement. Sending out 4 emails, eating a healthy lunch, whatever it is. What are you into? And then she'll tell me what she's into today. And then either that afternoon or the next morning is how'd it go yesterday? Oh, you only made 2 calls? Why not? What got in the way? Come on, we got to do this. If you want to make those goals, you got to do it. You want to go to Italy, you want to go to Germany, whatever this is. It's not magically going to happen. We've got to make it work. I think we all know that. It's like the phone usually doesn't ring and say, hey, I want to buy $1 million house. I get the mail every day. I've never gotten a check in the mail that's hey, here's $10,000, let's go. It's no, I've always had to earn it. So, okay. So I want to get into just a little bit of the numbers a little bit. So I'll be sharing my screen and bouncing around a little bit. But what I want you to do is I want you to look at we talked about tracking everything, right? So, utilize MLS, utilize a spreadsheet. We should be tracking everything right now. You guys, and once again, I don't care if it's a spreadsheet, if it's a system, it's Follow Up Boss, if it's Lofty, if it's KV Core, whatever it is, right now, do you have a pipeline? Everything that's active, everything that's pending, everything that closed, everything that fell apart. Can you do that? So in other words, if I was your coach and we sat down and I'm like, all right, well, what do you close so far? All right, it's January, so what have we closed? And we look at it, it's like, okay, what's active? How many right to represents do we have signed? How many listings do we have signed? And then most importantly is, what's the pipeline? Do you have people in there that's, going to do something in 3 months or 2 months, or they're just waiting for the right house, or, what is that? And you have to have it. It's like, have everything in one place. Get rid of the sticky notes. Go throw all of those things away this afternoon. Get one notebook for your car. If you don't want to do it, I've got a notebook in my car, so when notoriously it's going to happen. I'm going to leave for lunch today. Somebody's going to call and say, hey, Dave, we want to do this. Okay, put it in a notebook. Everything is in one place. And then it comes back and then it goes right into my CRM. Because how many times have you been cleaning out your car and you're like, oh, there's an envelope. Oh, Dave DiMattia. Oh, he wanted to buy $1 million house. How old is this? Hey, Dave, did you buy a house? Oh, you did? Okay, thanks, bye. It's like, but it's all happened, right? How many times have we gotten home and we've looked and we've got a little piece of paper? Even just by working smarter, how many people, let's go sidetrack just a second. How do you ask people for referrals? How do you ask? Hey, give them my card. Really? I know, but what do you do? So can I give you a suggestion how I do mine? And it's not saying that I do it completely right, but hey, Dave, hey, if you hear of somebody that's looking to buy or sell, I'd really appreciate that recommendation. And if that happens, can you just shoot both of us a quick text or an email introducing both of us? And most everybody's sure. And so what happens if you get that email, and I can show you, I get them all the time. It's like, hey, Dave, our best friends, Dawn and Jan are moving. We went to school with them. They're just like us. They go to church with us. They've got 2 kids. They've got it. And then we come back the other way. And then they're like, oh, hey, I'm introducing you to Dave. He's the best. Oh my God, he helped me, and he helped her, and he helped them, and he helped them buy houses. Here's their info. And so what happens then? You can reply, oh, hey, thanks for the, look forward to it. And now all of a sudden I've got you. So isn't that a lot better? So good stuff. All right. Well, hang on just a second. We'll probably cut this part out with the talking out there. Okay, so this coming year, we have to make some assumptions. So if I were to say, if we're looking at your buyers and sellers, how much are the homes that you're actually selling? What is your price range? Are you in the $300,000? Are you in the $500,000? You in the $800,000? You in the $2 million? What is it? So let's put it out, right? So I'm just going to put some round numbers in here, right? 500,000. Okay, and then down here is, what commission percentage do you charge? Now, once again, this is where we need to track and measure everything. It's so important because you guys are leaving so much money on the table, it's ridiculous. I can't tell you how many times we've seen a $25,000 commission come in here with a $22,000 rebate back to the customer. It's like, it happens more than you would like to know. And so, if you're looking at the year-end numbers, it was like, oh, hey, maybe she or he sold $10 million. Well, if you gave back 90% of your commission on each one of those deals, you might as well have worked at Chick-fil-A, right? So it's real important to measure and track where we are. Because that way we see. And that doesn't mean, don't give a rebate back or, make a deal happen or buy the washer if you need to or whatever. It's like, we've all done that, but you really have to look at it. So what do you charge? Kind of interesting now, right? And we're amongst friends. We're all Samson, so we can talk commission. We're not in any, problem here. So hang on a second. So, what do you do? Are you a 1%er? Are you a 2%er? Are you a 3? Or are you a 4? Are you a 5? I've seen it all. You know, I've seen, you know, $500 on a buyer side, you know, to I've seen 4%. And it's funny because the person that's charging $500 said, oh, I can never get 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of my people won't pay for it. And the guy getting 3% is like, I'm not working for $500. You know, so it's all a different value proposition. Go ahead, Dave. What were you saying? And I'll repeat your question since you know who I'm like.
My doctor doesn't give me a rebate.
Yeah.
My lawyer doesn't give me a rebate.
Yeah.
I choose them because I feel they're best representing my interests.
Yeah. Yeah, and just to repeat, just in case you didn't hear, Dave said his doctor or lawyer doesn't give him a rebate or a discount, but he chooses them because they're the right person. You know, I love to turn that rebate situation around. Is that, you know, hey, what do you do for a living again? You know, oh, you're an airline pilot. Oh, great. So if I sell your house for 1%, now every time I fly to Florida, I can call you and you're going to set me up on free airline tickets, right? You know, no, I can't do that. Then why are you asking me? You know, it's like that happens all the time. So you know, just be strong and stand up for your worth. But some of that goes back to this, is like, hey, if you've got goals, you've got mission statements, you've got tracking, you know exactly what you're going to do, well, then we can move forward. So I tell you what, I'm just going to put numbers in, right? It doesn't matter what they are. It's whatever your numbers is. What are you going to charge? And we can look.